Welcome back to Hannity. So the New York Times article about Donald Trump's past relationships with women, it continues to unravel today. Now, yesterday, Trump's ex-girlfriend, Roanne Brewer Lane, said that her comments were spun in an attempt to make Donald Trump look bad. And tonight, Miss California USA 2009, Carrie Prejean Bowler is speaking out about how the Times used a small passage from her memoir to further their attack. Carrie Prejean Bowler joins us now. Carrie, good to see you again. How are you?
Good to see you, Sean. Good, thank you.
I spoke to you earlier today. You were pretty mad, and I want you to explain how you got in this piece, because you said to them, "I have nothing bad to say about Donald Trump," when they called you.
Yeah, back in March, when they started this whole campaign against him, several reporters had reached out to me and asked to interview me, and I said that I really had nothing to say to them, and they weren't going to get anything out of me, negatively about Donald Trump, and they weren't really happy with that, and so I basically, wouldn't give them a story, and now they came out with their own version of it and took, something out of my book and just totally twisted it and made it so negative. And I have nothing but positive things to say about Donald Trump, and that's kind of why I came on your show today, was because I was fed up, Sean. I mean, I'm so sick and tired of like the New York Times, that's just one example of how they just like to twist things, and they want to put words in people's mouths, and you know what, I'm not going to put up with it anymore, and it's time that they hear the truth.
They pulled out a section of your book which they tried to attempt to use to make him look bad, and you said to me, why didn't they go 2 sentences further? What would have happened if they went to 2 sentences further?
Well, if they actually would have read my entire book, they would have overall seen that I have nothing but admiration and respect for Donald Trump. I mean, he helped me tremendously. So they really weren't doing their job right. I mean, honestly, they took a little part of what happened at the beauty pageant. I mean, let's put it in context here, Sean. This was a beauty contest. I mean, they're making a big deal that he walked across the stage and was looking at us. Are you kidding me? Like, that's just ridiculous. I mean, they want to make it seem like he degrades women, and you know what? He was the owner of the Miss Universe organization for a long time, and he's helped thousands of women, and I happen to be one of them. And he gives so many women platforms. He gives them careers. He helps women tremendously, and I have nothing but respect for him. And he's done nothing but help me. He helped me write my book. After the pageant was over, he said, "Anything you want, Carrie. I want to help you in your career." And, he really stuck up for me and had my back.
You know what the real question is? And I want to give you a full chance to answer this, because this is so devious what they're doing here. I now have interviewed you. We interviewed the woman that I just mentioned about just moments ago, Roanne Brewer Lane, and I interviewed another woman who was a project manager for him, who became a vice president and sold hundreds of millions of dollars in condos. She was a survivor of the war in Bosnia. What was it really like with Donald Trump? What was your experience like with him? What would you want to tell women that are being told by the New York Times and others that he's one way when in fact you say he's not? What is he really like?
He genuinely wants to help people. I mean, men, women, everyone. I mean, I just happen to be in the beauty pageant world, and he helps so many women, like I said, with their careers, and he really, he stood up for me at a time where it wasn't really popular to stand up for a woman like me. I mean, I came out and said something pretty controversial, I guess, according to the left. I mean, I don't think it was that controversial, saying marriage should be between a man and a woman, but, and he stuck up for me. And I really admire that about him. He didn't need to do that, and he went out on a limb, and that shows you what type of man he is.
And then he stepped up and he tried to help you after. How did he try and help you?
Oh yeah, when I was sitting in his office after this whole thing happened, and he said, "Carrie, whatever you want to do, I want to make happen." And he was making phone calls right then and there in his office, and he said, "You're a great girl, Carrie, and I just want to help you out." And he did not need to do that. And I'm a very loyal person, and I would not come on here and be talking about him if I did not think highly of him. And so I owe a lot to Donald Trump, actually. I really do.
And I can take from that you're going to be voting for him.
Well, absolutely. Make America great again, right?
Yeah. But you know what? I remember that time. There weren't a lot of people that stood up for you. That was a pretty hard time. And you very courageously, stood by your values. I thought you were treated very unfairly at the time. Okay, so I have the same view as you do. And
Yeah.
I remember interviewing you at the time, and there were a lot of people really hammering away, and he kind of stood up for your right to stand on your opinion, which I think we should have more people be willing to do that. So.
Yeah, and that's what I love about Trump, is he speaks his mind, and he's not afraid of anybody, and I really admire that about him.
All right, Kerry, good to see you again. Welcome back, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.